We're live.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, we finally live after so much technology stupidity that is happening. But anyways, because of popular demand, after me and Sam's like spoiler-free discussion of Get Out, we had a couple people asking, "Hey, we want you guys' in-depth sort of, discussion on Get Out and stuff. What did you guys take away from it?" And I was like, "Oh, people actually care about our opinion more." I'm like, "All right, cool."
Facts.
So Sam was like, Lucas wanted to join in, and I thought this would be fun because Lucas said he enjoyed it, and I was like, awesome. So yeah, what did you guys? I guess starting with you, Lucas. Just like, what was your takeaway from Get Out outside of I don't trust white women anymore?
You know what? That was actually the first. That was a second thought that popped into my head saying Get Out. The first thought, unfortunately, was, like, I really would like to hurt white people after seeing this movie. And that should never be a thought after seeing the movie, but it managed to bring it out of me. All that built up hatred just oozed out of me after seeing
Did
this
y'all have
movie.
a lot of black people in the theater when y'all saw it?
It was so many. Unfortunately, though, the people right to the right of me were all white.
Oh, man.
And boy, was I saying things that should never be said in public.
The best part of where my movie experience is, I was at the Magic Johnson Theater, and that was like the blackest shit ever because it was
in Negro paradise.
Exactly. And I got to say, for the record, Homeboy's friend in the movie, he basically, I think, and that's what kind of kept people from not shouting out, is that the dude's friend was basically us in the audience. Like, he knew what was up. And that's what made it cool, because I was waiting for somebody to be like, don't go in there. And it's like, no, the friend was just saying everything that we were thinking. And I was like, that is, I don't know whether that's genius appeal and he knew we were going to do that. Man, yeah, a lot of stuff.
I think it was set up that way.
Yeah,
I definitely think it was set up that way.
Oh man, it just everything about this movie. Now, I'll put it like, I'll start it off like this. All right, so, Keith Stanfield's character. I have been in that position where you're walking someplace and you don't know, you're lost, and then somebody's following you, and you're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just turn around, get out of here, because I am lost. And just the mumbling and just just the way he was doing up until he gets kidnapped. That I can relate to that kind of thing. Maybe not the kidnapping so much, but just just kind of like you're in an unfamiliar territory, and you're just like, you know what? Let me just get out of here. I don't know, like, just that kind of that whole thing just kind of resonated with me and stuff more than anything else.
Yeah, like it puts you in these kind of situations that are very normal for African Americans or for minorities, to being in like a situation where you're kind of looking like the outsider. You're blending in very well, but really it's like you're the spectacle. It's like people are kind of like looking at you like, not that you're like some kind of inferior person, but in the sense like you're the odd person here. Like, I want to either one, know you or you don't fit in kind of situation. And I think that Chris exhibited that on so many different occasions in this film. They were just very normal. And I think that had part to do with Key with the script. Like, I think he did a really good job showcasing like how people would naturally react with certain situations. I think the easiest one is like when they were in the car with the deer, and then the police officer was like, "Yeah, I need to see your ID." And it's like, he's not, he wasn't driving. And she pled the case for him, which I thought was really dope. But at the same time, like, Chris was like, "Oh, this is normal, huh, officer? Take it." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's reality.
Her white privilege was like crazily showing in that moment, because he was looking at her like, just what are you doing?
Like, this is normal. Well, why are you even causing this problem? I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. I don't know why she's speaking right now.
It's like, here's my ID. I don't want any trouble. Okay, here's the ID. We're good, right? All right, cool. We're good. I will say this: the big twist. Okay, so a lot of people didn't get the big twist in the movie. I guess maybe they didn't see it. The big twist of the movie was essentially, and I found it. It didn't dawn on me that this was it. Like, the whole idea that the grandfather and the grandmother were inside the maid and a dude that was running. And I didn't catch it until like after he hung up and they were doing a brain surgery. And I was like, oh shit, the grandfather was the dude that was running, because he was. And I was like, how did I not catch that?
Exactly.
How did I not catch that? I was like, damn it. But also the whole thing was the whole idea that Basically, it's white fragility. White people want to be black people very bad.
Yeah, and it's even deeper than that because it's like they look upon Chris and any other person as like, oh well, you're superior in here. Like the white lady, I thought it was really interesting. It was very awkward for her to ask Rose, like, is it better? You know what I'm saying? Like implying about, like her sex life. But I mean, in all actuality, she was being very serious about it. Like all of them were looking at different qualities in Chris that they could be able to not just take, but they looked upon with admiration. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that I can't attain, so I want it from you, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that delves into more of a philosophical perspective that a lot of people I think are just missing because they take it for face value, like, oh, it wasn't what I thought it was. Oh wow, that was the switch. But dude, I was telling Lucas, man, Peele, low key, he hypnotized us because I didn't think about any of this stuff until like maybe a day after. After I got out of the movie, I started thinking about stuff, and I was like, yo, from even like the first, song, I Stay Woke, which was Redbone for Chris, Childish Gambino, yeah. Like the way that they transformed a lot of the dialogue and the perspective of, literally being eyed upon and like taken outside of your realm of, how do I put it? Like you are not in control of not only your servant, your livelihood, but now somebody has literally put themselves in you and you can no longer be yourself anymore. Like you're there. And that philosophical part of that, I was just like, yo, what did he just do? What did Peele just do to everyone?
Well, not even that. It's like what wow me out was like, okay, so I don't know, maybe it's just me. Were y'all waiting? Were y'all like kind of low key hoping like did y'all? Okay, let me ask you. Okay, did y'all think that Homegirl was in on it from jump?
Yes,
Lucas did.
Yes, 100%. So I thought she was in it.
Where did it? Where like at what point in the movie was it off the break or was it kind of
at the beginning? The moment he said, "Did you tell your parents about me?" I said, "Oh yeah, she in it." Yes,
yeah. I mean,
there's no way. You gonna bring this black man home and this be okay? It's no big issue that you're black.
I mean, there will be some kind of form of spoken. Like okay, look, this is my first black boyfriend. I'm nervous about it. Like y'all don't be weird. Like that's just open conversation that anybody would have. But for me, like I didn't start getting wild until everybody in the house stopped what they were doing just to listen to see what Chris would do. And her response back to what Chris was saying was what really started getting me like, okay, either one, the mom had her under control as well as the brother, as well as the husband, and she's just doing this, with the inside family, or, Rose is in on it. And it's sad because like they started off being like a really cute couple. Like I was kind of rooting for them low key.
Very
and typical. Lucas was not.
I peeped it from the beginning of the movie. I'm like, oh nah, she in on it.
You know what?
I don't trust her.
It didn't hit me until Chris was talking to her at the lake, and she had that look on her face, like, okay, yeah, we can go. And I'm like, that's a little too easy. Like, you really, you buy,
Yeah,
and
she bought into that. We're gonna leave.
Way too easily
and everything. Like just in a 3-minute conversation.
No resistance.
Made you change your mind about everything. No
resistance. No. Oh, come on, Chris, you're just wild. Nothing. She was like, okay, let's go. And I'm like,
yeah, like it was like way too easy. And even when, like I said, like the thing with me was what she said. She wasn't upset about what he was saying. She was upset that he was willing to leave. Mm-hmm. That was the thing that like hurt her. That it was like, oh, you're gonna leave. Like she'd been saying that from jump. Like she was like, please don't leave me, in subtle ways. But you had to pay attention to her dialogue and actually care and invest in her care. I think that's part of the reason why I love the acting in this, is because Georgina or the two servants, or the grandma and grandpa, when they were opening up in dialogue with Chris, it was like, like they could kind of come off of these kind of preppy black people, but you can see in their eyes there's something they're trying to warn him as best they can.
That one tear that came down her eye when they were talking about his cell phone.
Yeah.
And his cell phone getting unhooked. That could be the best part of the movie to me.
Oh yeah,
all the emotion and everything is built up in that one tear. When you're like, come on, break, please break, please break.
And then the thing of it is, when you find out that it's basically like they can't do a full-blown brain transfer. So what they do is they keep through this hypnosis and stuff. And Allison's mom says, Rose's mom says sync and stuff. It's like subconsciously they're still in their body, like I guess moving it, but in terms of talking and stuff, it's the white person that they put inside in that little piece of their brain they put inside them and stuff. So it's like when they hit that plot reveal, you think back to how the maid was reacting when she was crying. It was like, oh, that's the black chick that's in her crying because she really wants to like get out of her body at that moment, like to really warn Chris is what's going down, and she can't, and the tears and everything is just like really boiling over.
That was, I think, like a great.
Go ahead.
Point. That was a great point of the movie to the way I think a lot of younger black people view society. In a point that that little white person taking over is that part of you that tells you got to act a certain way, you got to talk a certain way to be around people, and even at times when you get at your like the most angry point you can be at the point of the day, you still can't let that part of you out. So that like that one tear represented that, being a black man who works around majority white people, when you get mad, you want that anger and everything to come out that you can't have come out. I think that was a deep part of the sinking place.
Yeah. I mean,
it forces you to push yourself down because that's not what society wants you to be.
It's kind of like keeping that aggressiveness down, and it's like got to be subservient essentially and stuff. I mean, even Keith Stanfield, like when he's like, assimilated with them and stuff, and Chris is trying to give him the black man dap, and he just goes in for the handshake, and he's like, okay, and he's taking a picture. He took the picture of him and stuff, and the dude's like, get out, and it's like it felt like he was finally free. And stuff, like telling him to get out, and bam, he's back to normal after she hypnotized. Like, oh, okay. Which I mean,
I think the thing that blew me with that though is the fact that put yourself in that situation at a certain point, you're gonna just stop fighting. You know what I'm saying? We saw Chris sink into the sunken place, and we saw him try to fight. But imagine you stuck there for months. Or maybe a year, like eventually you're gonna stop fighting.
You just give up.
And like I think that, like you said, Lucas, that was a key point when she looked and she saw, even though she did it without her control, it just kind of came out. It was like, man, that was the first glimpse of her open her eyes for just a second, and she leapt with it. Like I couldn't even imagine how I would feel in that situation. I think that's the reason why the movie resonates with me, whereas a lot of people just take it as is, but I seriously put myself in the situation of like, man, like how would that really be? That's the worst kind of torture you can think of, because it's not just like your livelihood, like it's everything you have.
Your humanity.
The thing was, what's the guy? I forgot his name. That was the blind guy. I forgot his name was in the movie.
Steve Root.
Yeah. His character was the most precise because he didn't just want, like a body trade or like this asset here or there. He wanted his skill set. He wanted, in other words, the part of his soul that makes him unique. And like because he didn't see him. He could care less if he was black or white. Like it was the fact that the way that man or somebody else described to him his talent, that he needed it. And I was like, yo, from a philosophical standpoint, that is profound, because that's reality in society now. And that's not even just a black-white thing. That's reality in scope. And I was just like, yo, that was profoundly amazing. And it was scary. I think it was really an eye-opener for me, because I was like, dude, somebody would go to those lengths to do that? Like,
I mean,
that's a movie, but
and the crazy part is Stanfield. If you really think about how the movie ends, it's like, well, he's still basically a slave.
Yes.
Hey, the end of the movie is, I know everybody cheered, but it's so sad because it celebrates something that we don't really talk about much in the Black community, which is we're great and we're happy when one of us gets out. But if you notice, like, it was still people trapped. Like,
yeah,
he
Stanfield
wasn't the
was still
only
trapped.
person.
Yeah, Stanfield was trapped. That's the only one we know of. That we know.
Exactly. So it's like that. Well, at least one of us got out. Let's cheer about one of us getting out, even though that other person is completely lost.
Even though I was starting, my heart was about to skip for a beat when he's choking out Rose and the cop car comes. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna shoot this motherfucker, aren't they? And it was his friend. I was like, okay, thank God, because I thought it was really gonna be like, oh shit, the police gonna see him choking a white girl out. Oh damn.
Yeah, I thought he was a gunner, and I said it so many times.
That's why he took his hands off her, because he saw the cop and was like, "Oh, damn!"
Hey, hands up! He did that very quickly.
Because all of us in the theater were laughing. As soon as he took his hands off and put his hands up, all of us were laughing because we knew the deal. He was like, "Oh shit, yeah, he already know the deal. He already knows it."
I'm choking this white woman out. Ain't no telling what y'all gonna do to me.
Because she already showed to his boy on the phone when she kind of picked up on him when he said, "Oh yeah, hold on for a minute," and she was like, "Oh, he's gonna record me." Yeah, I already know that you wanted to fuck me. And he was like, "God damn it, she knew I was gonna do this."
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, we don't know how far things have come before him. Like, imagine that there could have been other people that came as far as this and just didn't make it. And like when we look through those photo albums that she had, men and women,
countless people.
We have no clue
on
generationally.
Top of the 3 black people that we saw.
So like there could be surrogates out there in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people out there that are literally, taking over, and you would never know. You would never know.
Yeah, what's funny too is that I don't know if y'all caught the little cameo from Key in the film.
What?
Yeah, you remember when Rose was looking through one of the NCAA prospects?
Yeah.
Yeah, Key was one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't catch it until the second time when she's flipping through, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Key!"
Wow, that's hilarious. I did not catch that at all.
Yeah, man, it's kind of one of those you have to like really catch it, because when she's going through the NCAA like prospects and stuff, and you just happen to see him, I was like, "Oh shit, that's Key!" And then she flips over to another guy, and I was like, "Oh man, like that was awesome. That was interesting." Probably the one that shocked me was Eric. Like I said it in the spoiler-free one, but Eric Alexander being in this movie kind of threw me off too, just because I didn't expect it. I really thought it was gonna be like, oh shit, we're gonna get some black cops, they're gonna come in there and help out, and I was like, oh, they just okay.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if they would have believed his story, the film wouldn't have been believable. You couldn't come in a precinct and say that, and people not like everybody be like, oh my god, let's go save this random black person that you're saying is being hypnotized by white people. It's like, come, nah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't arrest his tail and be like, are you on drugs, son? Are you on drugs? Like, real talk, I thought that's what was gonna happen. I was like, she gonna be like, Maxine's gonna be like, hey yo, lock him up real quick.
Yo, she had me going initially when she stopped and was like, okay, let me get a couple people in here, and I was like, oh shit, she actually believes it. Because at first I thought she was just gonna laugh him out, and I was like, oh, she actually gonna believe him. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. She just brought him in as jokes. Damn it, had me going. You had me going, movie. You almost got me. Almost.
Hey, I mean, everybody was even willing to like act like the TSA could actually find random places and it'd be okay. It's like, oh yeah, that makes perfectly good sense. You have a cruiser and you drove and you found him where no one could find anything before. Like that makes so much sense.
I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at the fact that like he was like theorizing that maybe they hypnotizing black people and put them make some sex slaves, and I was like, you ain't that far off. I mean, shit.
It's because, as you said before, it's because he was saying everything we was thinking. Everything we was thinking. It was like he said, all right, I'm going to write a character that's going to say everything every black person who's going to go see this movie is going to think. One, why would you just randomly go off with a white woman? And her family not know you black. Like, that's stupid. Like, you like, nigga, you trying to die? That's what you trying to do something like that.
You see, we're laughing
like,
at the joke, but it's like, yo, he ain't lying.
Exactly. Like, you got to be kidding me here. So through the whole course of the movie, it was just him saying everything we was thinking, which was awesome.
Oh man, and like, and that's why I'm saying it's like, cause I will say this: the trailer kind of like, and I understood why people were very hesitant on it is because, one, the trailer kind of gave off the vibe that it was kind of like a parody or kind of like something that was gonna be funny in a sense. Because I mean, if I watched the trailer, it was like there was kind of like some like, okay, this is a joke, right? This got to be a joke. And then when you see the movie, it's like, okay, this movie is like a 180 difference than what the trailer vibe gave me. Okay, I'm in.
See, I never saw the trailer. I saw the teaser. And when I saw the teaser didn't give off a comedy vibe at all.
Oh, the trailer did. The trailer did in the sense of not in a ha ha ha, but just kind of like the weird stuff that they were sprinkling in.
Okay.
So it's like
I purposely avoided that. I didn't want to see the trailer. I thought it would give away too much. Even people who I went to the movie with who saw it, they said the trailer gave away a lot to them if they would have saw the trailer beforehand.
Even seeing the trailer, I don't think it gave away anything. You see Chris sitting in a chair crying, but it like didn't give you any. It
gave away that the white. It gave away that the white girlfriend was going to be evil, even though I knew that from the beginning.
The trailer didn't give away the white girl was evil.
No, it didn't.
Now, if anything, it was just like, because as far as I got from the trailer, it was just like, okay, she's meeting her parents. He's meeting their parents, and shit happens. So as far as I knew, I was like, well, maybe he gets into some shenanigans in town, and some white people will come in there and kidnap him. I didn't expect the parents to be involved.
Yeah. Well, see, like for me, it was totally different. Like I was apprehensive about watching it because what I thought was that she was, a naive, Caucasian woman who liking this black man, taking him back home, him not understanding that they have like a racial bias or a racist to African Americans, and they're just going to torture this man. They're going to straight up kill and torture this man. I think that what led me to believe that was when I sat there and watched, the mom put him in this place. She was like, sink. And I was like, yo, why would she put him in a situation like that? And then I sit there and see all the violence that preceded that. And I just thought that this was going to be him literally getting tortured and trying to survive. Like, I thought that they were going to come at him because they hated who he was.
Black people.
And that was the totally 180 for me. I thought that it wasn't going to be that, okay, they admire black people so much they wanted to be him. I thought they just wanted to kill him. Like, that's why I just like, I don't want to see that. That's not something I'm interested in. And I know a lot of people that felt the same exact way. And then when I was like looking at it, I was like, yo, this is totally different. It's totally different than that.
I just thought it was going to be, you can't trust the white people. Like, I came in with that thought, like, nah, I don't trust her. She white. And it's not even that I'm racist at all, but it's just, I just felt that vibe. Like, okay, this is going to be a movie where he's going to be set up and not see it. Because in all honesty,
and it came out of nowhere, honestly.
Yeah, he plays the naive horror person very well in this movie.
No, but
he breaks every rule you're not supposed to do.
You know what's funny? It's not even so much naive. It's like he goes along with it, but if you look at his facial gesture at certain things, you can see like he's just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like between the white people at the party asking them things about Tiger Woods and stuff like. And trust me, I've been in those kind of situations like that.
Who hasn't? Man, that's
it's mad annoying. It is so fucking annoying, and it's like you don't want to say it, but he just kind of look like And like I said, like I said, I love that guy, the actor and stuff, because he was really good in Black Mirror. And also in Sicario. Yeah. So I just like all his facial gestures and stuff. But I think after that party is when he just reached his breaking point. I was like, I'm fucking done with this place.
Yeah, he was ready to go. He was done. He was like, forget this.
I think he was done that first night meeting her brother.
I think that he was like really hesitant to try to connect with them any further. Because at first he was like, I'm going to try to be respectful and connect. Yeah. After his brother did that, he was like, you know what? I got to distance myself and try to just make it through this trip versus trying to make something out of this. Because, like, you know, like, depending on where he was with his relationship with her, like, he's sitting there thinking, you know, I don't know if I can marry this girl after this kind of situation. So, yeah, I can only imagine being in a situation like that. And I think that's what was the beauty about the movie, is that I consistently put myself in the situation, how I'd respond, how I would sit there and understanding what the friend was saying at every single time he would talk.
Oh yeah, the whole UFC talk, the aggressiveness that, let's be real about this, some majority of white dudes do be getting a little bit aggressive and shit like that. But like, let me put you in a chokehold. It's like, come on, dog. Like, why are we doing
even the father trying to connect using lingo he has no business doing, and the Obama thing. It's like, come on, dog. Man.
You know, and I know Peele said that he was like, real. This is about liberal white people, which I'm like, yeah, on the surface, this movie is about liberal white people. But like I said, as I said before, it is kind of like, at the end of the day, it's the whole idea that white people want to inhabit blackness for them. Basically, they want to be us. And I think even Stephen Root's character even said it best. He was like, yeah, you guys are the flavor of the year at this point. So, you know, hey, why not? Yeah. Because it could be any other race. It really could be any other race and stuff, which also, by the way, threw me off with the Asian dude being there at the party. Only Asian guy.
I said that repeatedly as me and Sam was watching this. I said, so they just randomly throw in an Asian just to make you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, it's like, we got another minority here. Yeah.
But I think you also got to pay attention to the fact that even though they wanted to be black people, it was all the physical aspects of them. Meaning that they felt mentally like, you all don't deserve the gifts that you received.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's lady, what I paid attention to a lot, to them saying that.
I mean, the lady...
Even to her saying... Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was at the lady that had her old husband, and she's all touching Chris's like muscles and shit. I was like, oh, she's
exactly.
Yeah.
Or even that I don't know if I brought it up with Sam or Joe when we went to go see the Kong screening. I brought up, I said, well, did you pay attention to, you know, in history they say black people are really submissive, and to be hypnotized you have to be a submissive person.
Yeah, he was resisting it like for the first couple of seconds, and then he just, he
just gave in, which they say that's something that unfortunately black people do. Or that's a myth. That's something that black people do. I thought that was like ingenious to play off of that.
Yeah, because the whole time
he brought up a lot of things like that.
Yeah, because the whole time he really wasn't, he was very kind of like, I don't want to talk about my background. You know, my mom died in the story. And she was really kind of like, come on, Chris, sit down. And at any point in time, most people would be like, no, I'm just going to go to bed. You know, I'm good. But he just like, all right, I guess I'll sit down. I'll humor this, you know. But most people wouldn't.
And that's funny, though, because that was the gateway that allowed her to be able to probe into his mind. She used that as a resource to continuously put him into this spiral. And it was like she kept him in his worst moment so she could take the vulnerability that he had and inhibit his mind. And I think that was the thing that caught me completely off guard, because that's so scary, man. Like, imagine your worst trauma and like somebody keeping you there, and you know you're vulnerable. You know you're vulnerable, and now you're in a submissive state, and you're trying to fight back. You don't want to think about these things, but there's nothing you can do about it, and they're lording that over you to keep you where you are. And that's why I say, man, there's a lot of profound things in just the dialogue and the scripting for this movie that I don't think they're gonna be talking about this for a while. But I think a lot of critics are not getting it, or they don't care to.
No. Let me rephrase that. There's only one critic that, and he only did it because he fucking trolls Armin White. But I think a lot of critics. Here's the thing I've noticed when I look at the reviews of critics, and they've been leaping praise. I think they only got the surface level of it on the whole idea of liberal America. They didn't really, I think a majority of them didn't get the deeper thing that we're talking about right now with the submissiveness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they just see the surface stuff and it's like, oh, this is a very smart picture. I'm like, did you guys see the deeper picture though?
Yeah.
And I don't think they did.
Because liberals aren't allowed to. That's part of being liberal, is that you don't see stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it brought me back to like the old Dave Chappelle sketch on his first comedy special.
Yeah.
Where he was like, well, then the white people, they didn't know how bad we had it until they picked up Time magazine. They're like, honey, did you see this? They're beating Negroes like hotcakes. It's like they don't see it unless it's thrown directly in their face that it's a problem.
Yeah, that's perfectly it. Because I have open dialogue with certain people that, you know, are not, you know, and they'll be just blindsided. They're like, I can't believe that's what you are going through right now. I can't believe that's part of your culture right now. It's like they have no understanding of it. And I think that the genius part that Peele did is that we would understand it, but it would escape through everybody else. So it would have a profound, deeper thing within us that it could, I mean, it could have like the Lucas effect, quote unquote, or it can like this wake up call kind of effect as well simultaneously. And I think that's the thing that it broke the mold from doing that. Peele knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I would say on top of that, we'll also that was another thing. I saw somebody say this, and this is like probably the most funniest, maybe woke thing I've ever. I don't even want to say woke. But she was like, notice that Rose was eating the cereal and then drinking the milk. She
the
was
white milk, the white supremacist white milk. Yeah.
Colored from that. And I was like, God damn it. How did I not? Like, I don't know whether I should laugh that I didn't pick up on that or that somebody else picked up on that. But I was like, I didn't even get the correlation. I just thought that was just a weird ass fucking thing.
Dude, didn't somebody say that in our movie, Lucas?
Yeah.
When we were
I mean,
there,
that's something
that
lots of people picked up on because, that's the play of a lot of news, especially with the alt-right movement that has come out, is that while white people are genetically superior to black people, and they use dairy as one of them because, a lot of us are lactose intolerant. So that's like the drink of the white supremacist movement is milk. Like, I paid attention to that.
Huh.
I did not catch that at all.
I was just like, man, this chick is fucking weird as hell.
I didn't catch it at all. But.
Yeah, because, it was a woman who, I think the one right beside me, she yelled it out when it happened.
Oh, man.
Hey. Lucas, but low-key though, Lucas, you said some hurtful things, man. You scared that poor white man on the end. No, this old white dude with the beard.
I wish I was with you guys at that screening because I was just sitting back like, yo, I know Lucas was fucking going on a tear. I would have been fucking dying.
It's so many. So I felt so bad a couple of days later. In the moment,
you feel bad. This movie should have had you feeling good. Like, okay, it was shit.
Not the movie. Like, I mean, I was saying some like real bad thing. Like initially, the point of the movie was don't date white people. I said, see, you get in interracial relationships. This is the fuck that happens to you, and you deserve it because you shouldn't be trusted. Like I went off on this tirade, and I'm not remotely close to being racist, but man.
It was bad, bro. I had to tell Lucas, cool out. Because this white guy, he was shocked by the movie, but he stayed in his seat.
How old was this white guy?
He had to have been like something, man. Like he had this long beard, and he
had to have been in his 40s or 50s.
Bad, but it was what it was.
He was probably like, look, that little black dude down there, I'm not leaving this theater till he gets up and leave. Because he mentioned killing white people way too many times for me to be comfortable.
It's like, honey, that Get Out movie was cool, but this black guy, man, he really was about ready to sit there and kill me. I don't know. Don't tell you. Clutching pearls. Hey, real talk though. To add the whole "don't trust white girls" thing. Rose smiling when Chris is choking her. That was creepy.
It was. She looked like she enjoyed it, and I was like, "Oh, see."
Well, I mean, what I took from that though is that she was like, "All right, yeah, you showed your animalistic, XYZ. Like this is what you are anyway. Show, your superiority and that you're just a beast, kind of thing." And I think that
this is why you don't deserve your body.
Exactly, and that was the reason why I was like on par with Chris not killing her. I was like, prove her wrong.
I assumed he was trying to disarm. I assumed. Because I was going to two things. I was one, that's creepy as shit that she's smiling that he's choking them and stuff. I'm thinking that she was getting her heart on that shit. But two, I thought she was just smiling at him to like disarm him from choking her. To kind of like, oh, come on, Chris, I'm not a bad person. I thought that's what she was going for.
Nah, she didn't care about dying, bro.
You two
because
are
she didn't have any remorse
positive.
when all her family was dead. Like she was just, you know what?
Yeah,
all right,
it is what it is. I wanted him to kill her.
This.
I'm not gonna lie. I said kill her ass. Kill. I'm not gonna repeat the other word I used behind kill her, but
hey, look, man. Hey, look, man. When the gardener, when Chris snapped the thing and the gardener looked at him and was like, "Give me the gun so I can kill him," I was shocked that she gave him the gun off the. I'm like, oh shit, because the way the gardener said it, I thought she would have picked up on He doesn't really talk like that. And then the guard had turned around and shot her. I was like, oh shit. Okay, but I didn't expect him to kill himself though. I did not see that coming.
I saw that come. It was that no matter what, he was still trapped. Like there was no getting out.
I mean, it seemed like he was free.
No, but remember, even when the camera snapped before, it's like a little piece of him would come out, but overall, he still wouldn't be in control of anything. So I kind of figured he would kill himself because in that moment, like I finally have control over this, and I would prefer to kill myself and end this torture of me being trapped inside of this body than let this other person eventually take back over.
Well, I assume like when they snap the picture, that takes them out the sunk.
Well,
I don't think it takes them out all the way. I think it brings up a little piece of them because remember they said when they did the surgery, it left a little bit of them still in there. Yeah, they couldn't get rid of. So I thought when the camera flashed, it brought that little bit back up, but that's not enough to take over.
Oh, okay. See, I was under the assumption. I was like, why did he blow his brains out? He was free. I'm like,
I was thinking even deeper than that. That even if he hypothetically speaking, rid of himself of it, when will that person come back? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, no matter what, even if it was a month or a week or 2 minutes or 2 days, like that person is still a part of him. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing he would be able to do to change that because he has been, physically altered. And like, I think that for me, even if it wasn't like, long-term or short-term, there's no way he'd be able to, live with himself if he, continued doing that. He couldn't go back to that place, in other words.
Yeah. I mean, that was wild, man. It's just everything about that whole process is wild. It's like, there's a part of me that I hope Peele doesn't do it to like, hey, I want to see more of this, but I don't want. I can legit say it's
gonna be a sequel.
You think Blumhouse will actually push for him to do a sequel?
I don't think it's gonna be a sequel. I think it's gonna be a runoff on something else. I think he's gonna take, the world and maneuver it somewhere else. I don't know how or why.
But keep in mind, because they've been building this. Because they've been building it for years.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like the Purge series, and I think those 3 movies have done a good job of showing that world building of the whole Purge thing and stuff, it's just hard for me to say, okay, if they do a sequel to this, how do you necessarily do it without undermining what you did in the first movie? Because you don't want to because you put it this way, it's like lightning strike. You're trying to see if you can strike lightning twice, but you
look
also
at the Conjuring series though.
Yeah.
I mean, they managed to do it. What, 3 times now?
I think 3 times. I believe. Might be.
Because they got Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, then Annabelle, then they get the other branch off, the Nun movie that's about to come out.
Yeah.
And then they're going through another Conjuring. So it's like you can branch it off. You just got to do it well.
That's my worry. And it's like if they keep Peele on to write it, I think it could work. As long as they give them time to actually write it. As long as it seems like Blumhouse, they give their people time to like write the material, which I think that's a good thing.
Because they're micro budgeted films. It's like, you spend $5 million on a movie, and this movie's going to end up making the minimum $100 million. Like you could take as much time as you need to.
They know they can make their money back, so I think maybe that's why they give their creators like, okay, well, take your time on the movie. It's all good. Do what you got to do and stuff. Because even if I'm not necessarily fond of. I think I saw Conjuring 2 and I was like, oh, it's okay, but it just didn't reach that peak of the first one, but I was like, it was okay, it wasn't bad. It was just like, it was okay.
See, to me, it was a much better movie.
I had to rewatch the first one because I only saw that one time and I didn't really go back and watch it. So when I saw the second one, I was like, oh, it was fine, okay. It was entertaining. I was entertained. I like the concept. So I'm hoping, because he said he's going to do more of these kind of things. I'm like, okay. I hope he kind of sets it up in this world a bit.
Exactly.
Just keep that.
It doesn't have to be the same characters.
Yeah.
You don't need these characters ever again, actually.
Yeah. You can give me a newspaper article about like that family that died because of Chris or something like that if you're going to really reference that.
Exactly.
Newspaper clipping.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered what if situations is going to happen after these events. Like, how are they going to explain what happened to the family? Chris's DNA is everywhere. There's just so many different questions. And I think that somebody in the chat just brought an even more interesting question. Shout out to you, Chris B. He said, you know, the guy who was kidnapped in the beginning of the movie, how are they able to hypnotize him since he was kidnapped? And basically, for me thinking about that, like if that same guy that was in the beginning of the movie, he's still with that woman, you know, she's not just gonna be like, all right, I know who did all this. Like, it was Chris. Like, she's gonna go and, you know, run town somewhere else. But it's like, how can she maintain keeping him under that submission kind of thing? Like, there's just so many questions because
I think with Stanfield's character, it looked like at the beginning, it looked like they probably tied him down, and she probably did the whole thing, and she probably hypnotized him somehow and stuff. Because he was very much resisting, and I'm pretty sure they probably sedated him, and then boom, he wakes up, you know, tied up, and then she did it and stuff. Because that's the only plot point I was like, okay, I don't necessarily need to know what happened, but in my head, I'm forming a story where it's like, man, that sucks. He's literally just chilling with his white wife, and
but that's the thing though. What I'm saying is that Chris knows who she is. He's seen her. Like, I mean, he can't just. If it was me, I couldn't be like, all right, I know this man has been under this situation. Like, I don't know if I could just let that go. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if the next one was like Chris, you know, going back home and dealing with the fact of what he's seeing, being traumatized, and knowing that this man is still under this control, like, is he gonna do something about it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's part of the mentality also, Sam, of what I said earlier about being satisfied with one person getting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many people do you see reach backwards and say, well, I pulled myself out of this situation, and let me grab this person with me? That does not happen.
Because it's not
more like I got out, you need to find your way out like I found my way out.
Yes,
I think that plays a lot into it.
One of the viewers just made a good point, and that was also something Demetrius pointed out too. The whole idea that Chris had to pick cotton to save his life, which I was like, damn, how did I not pick that? Because when he was looking at it, I was like,
exactly.
Shit. Damn, he really did.
He had to put that joint all up in his ears.
And that's the funny thing too.
The one thing used to torture us is the one thing that saved his life.
Yeah, I mean,
that's wow.
And I mean, it's funny too. It's just like he literally ran train. You know, he stabbed the father. He died, bludgeoned the brother's head. Which I'm like, how the fuck did the brother survive getting knocked upside the damn head multiple times? That's wild.
Yeah. I think the dad got it the worst though.
Man, he got stabbed just off the break.
Like, Chris had no remorse with the dad. I was like, dang, did the dad deserve or merit? That's.
Hey, like, mom.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I thought that the mom deserved it more than he did. I mean, yeah, he's doing the surgery and all that, but
hey, dog, I was laughing when Chris and the mom had to stare down, looking at the teacup, and then he darted over. I was like, oh, he gonna break the shit out of that damn thing off the break. It's done.
I'm not allowed to repeat the things I said out my mouth.
That was bad.
As he was running towards that teacup.
Dude, I tell you what, though, Chris had this look on his face. He was like, yeah, you stabbed me in this hand, but you're still going to die today. And I was like, oh, Lord. This is
Let her open her to the freaking damn eye. I was like, oh, she's dead. That's it. That's done.
Yeah. I was just like, you killer. Like, I've never cheered for so many people to die before.
Look, man, it's rare. And it's another thing, too, that I noticed. It's rare. Like, whenever black people in movies survive, there's categories of black people in movies and stuff. You know, you got people like LL and Busta Rhymes who are like the strong, you know, big black dude that survive and stuff like that, even though I think Busta surviving in that Halloween movie was bullshit, but whatever.
Hey, he said one of my favorite lines in movie history. Hey, yo, Michael Myers. Like, come on, dude. Like, at that point, I was like, he should live.
LL was like the freaking big security guard, so by default, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's in LL's contract. He cannot die in these movies, so I'm like, whatever.
Because he survived a couple of horror movies.
Yeah, it was like this one. There was another movie, really good movie called Deep Blue Sea. There was another. Yeah. This one was like a suspense. It was called My Hunters. He was actually really good.
I remember that.
That's actually a good movie.
Yes. That was a good movie. I actually did enjoy it.
So it's like, I think it's in his clause that he has to survive. So it's like you got that. Then you get like the one black person that has to survive in a horror movie, like Brandy and I Still Know What You Did, which again I think that was a bullshit. Like,
Fuck you. She fit her little ass through a fucking plain glass window. That shit is amazing. That shit was amazing.
That's
I remember seeing that thinking, like, how the fuck did she fit through that little ass?
I couldn't fit. I'll be like, well, you know what? You want to just stab me. I'm done.
Oh,
I mean, but it's just that's what we're separated in, and there's never any line of like, can we just get a regular old black dude that just survived just because? Like,
but I think that plays an important part to this movie. The movie's success is the state of the black horror film.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen too often that we get one. They're normally bad. I mean, really bad. Like The Inheritance, which came out, I want to say like 06, 07. That was pretty dope because the concept was awesome. But it wasn't high budget. Normally our high budget ones be Bones, Tales from the Hood, or something else a rapper makes that they think
just hood classic.
People pay to see this.
Hood
Exactly.
All right, cool.
So then when you see a black horror film that's executed as well as this one was, especially in an age where horror movies have been really great of late.
Yeah.
Whether it be The Witch or the Babadook. I have no
but again, it's the
It follows. Like, those are great horror movies.
Yeah,
Great.
indie horror is making a resurgence because it's like showing we don't need to sit there and throw 50 million at a damn movie. Just make a good movie. Not saying you gotta make it for $1 million. Trust me. I think 5 million, 6 million is a good line to have for this kind of movie to tell because to me, you have your budget at that low, that puts the onus on you to really write a good story. You have to. You can't let the fucking budget dictate how your story is going to go. So you have to like make a good story to make me give a shit. Even if I think the story is okay, it's like I'll take an okay story versus a horrible fucking movie that only just got by because of
you killed 80 people in it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And you saw them in half or things of that nature. It's horror has gotten really creative of late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something like that should be applauded because horror was dead maybe 6-7 years ago. Everything was a slasher horror.
I mean, because now if you want to talk about bad horror movies, I mean, shit, just go to Netflix. That's where you're bad. I mean, because that's where we're at right now. It's like there's no longer a place where it's not to say bad horror movies don't come to theaters. We get stupid shit like Ouija, which I fucking hated.
Oh, fuck you. Ouija Origins is not the first Ouija because that was horrible.
That's what I said. The first Ouija. I ain't talking about
Ouija Origins is amazing.
Yeah, Ouija Origins to me, I thought that was a different tonally than the first one. That's why I was like, that's why I fucking hated the first one. It's like that was a bad one. And I was like, that was stupid. Same with the one that just came out where it was fucking white people's version of Candyman or whatever and shit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The one that you don't say the person's name or whatever and shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Wait, what?
It's the one that came out recently where they said you don't say the person's name or whatever.
The Gallows.
Not the Gallows. The Gallows was bad.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No.
It was like Charlie?
No, fuck.
That must be real recent, actually. I don't think I've seen that one.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember that. I don't remember the name of it anyway. I know.
Damn it, because I joked on Twitter that it was basically white people's version of Candyman and shit, and it's like, fuck, I forgot the name of it, but that was a stupid ass movie.
Shit, Candyman. How the fuck I forget the most classic black horror movie ever
Candyman
made?
was really good. It was.
I'm still not allowed to watch Candyman. Yeah. And notice I didn't say I couldn't. I said I'm not allowed to watch Candyman. Shit will never happen, dog. No, it has to be 2:00 in the afternoon. I need to know that I have other things to do that could take my mind off of watching Candyman if I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm still terrified of that movie to this day.
Yeah, I mean,
because he was killing people in the ghetto, and that don't happen too often.
Hey, former slave that ends up becoming a fucking damn ghosting, that ends up becoming a fucking slasher. You say his name 3 times, I'm for it. That works.
Dog, like, he was killing white women. Like, in a way, I should have felt proud.
I see bees in a different light now because of Candyman.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
We are going off topic.
All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. With Get Out, I like the tone that it starts, and I hope if he stays on, hey, I hope he makes this an anthology where it's like you said, it stays in the same world like The Conjuring and stuff, where it's like the same world, but it's just a different scenario. Because he said he wants to do it. He said the next movie he wants to kind of keep with the social topics. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm for that.
Yeah.
Even if he's not the person who continues it, you need to get someone in the same vein who looks at it the same way.
Yeah.
But this is the way these movies should be done.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's the shit.
Hey, get Steve McQueen to make one. He'd be like,
Steve McQueen would do some shit. You know what? I guarantee. And this is my thing. I hope the next one talks about gayness and they use it in some sort of horror movie like thing.
Not a horror version of Moonlight. I don't need to see that.
Look, man, anything to scare the shit out of fucking homophobic dudes, I'm for it. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I could see Peele doing something like that though.
I'll be for it, man. Because it's like, look, man, there's nothing you can do about dudes that are homophobic. It's like, look, you could just not say anything. Why you gotta be that way? And it's like, I would be down if he makes a movie that really
it could be dope. It could be dope, depending on who does it. It could be. It
really could, because it's like because you have to do it in a way that people are like, oh my god, that was really good. You know, and you have to. That's what you have to nail, because once you start doing it and it's like a joke. And you're laughing more than being like
funny. It takes away the social commentary that comes along with it, because it's the Dave Chappelle thing is I don't know if you're laughing with me or at me.
Yeah, and the thing about
that's what you want to avoid.
And that's what I liked about Get Out is that the stuff that I laughed at, it was laughing because holy shit, I've been in that situation and it's fucked up.
Exactly. Yes.
It's like, damn it, I've been in that situation. And that's not even on top of the friend speaking for us, but it's just all the interactions. You just sit back, just laugh.
You want to talk to me, and then you're trying to come up with topics you think can relate to my situation. It's like, nah, that's not how that works, Mr. White Man. I'm going to need you not to do that.
Yeah.
Just please go. So, but yeah, man, yeah, that's our thoughts and opinions. I think we've nailed everything and stuff. I'm pretty sure. And you know, that's the amazing thing about this movie is that it's gotten conversations going on this, like, oh my god. And because don't get me wrong, it's and that's the thing I have to point out too. It's not like horror movies have never done this thing of doing social commentary. That's the one thing I can really nitpick on is that how a lot of reviewers are acting like this is the first time horror movies. I'm like, no, horror movies have done this.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in our generation that it's really started. I mean,
The Purge did it. The Purge did it too, in subtle and very kind of like.
But like, if you think about it, it follows plays off of AIDS. Exactly. And the danger of AIDS, and the danger of sleeping with random people. Horror movies does this. It's so rare that it happens because you're used to just a slasher one. So when it happens and you get to the point where a horror movie gives you social commentary, it throws you off, and it makes people pay attention way more than the gore and everything else you can throw into the movie.
I agree.
Even that, or the movie Sam still has not watched, The Witch, which is about religious persecution, and the way they tie that into a horror movie setting just to get you in. It's like, well, damn, you did a good job.
And that's the thing with Get Out. And that's the thing with Get Out too. I told this in our spoiler. Told this to me and Sam was saying is the movie wasn't heavy-handed either, and that's something that a lot of directors would easily go into is get really heavy-handed with the message. It's like you don't have to be heavy-handed with it. You really don't.
Yeah. Like we didn't sit there and start talking about it until like later. Like if the movie is good enough, it will stick with you, and it'll make you think and want you to go back and recall that. Like all those different things, different moments, I can still recall it in my mind. You know, and that's what you're supposed to look for in an experience in a movie. That's the whole point. It's not just for monetary entertainment. Some people just want to be blindsided and not care. And then, you know, I think you can have a feel for that sometimes. But then when you got like a movie like this that makes you really think and go back and break down the barriers behind it, and they not trying to be, like you said, too over the top with beating something over my head, dude, that was masterful in every kind of way. That's the thing. But,
in the light of the Oscar So White movement in 2016, like the resurgence of the great Black film, had between starting with The Fits, which is one of the best black films you could ever see, to Moonlight, to Hidden Figures, to this. I'll throw Fences in there just because of the performances, but like we're evolving to the point where we're putting good product on screen for people to see.
Finally,
and we're supporting it. That's the key part. We're actually supporting it.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like there used to be a time, and like I said, it was like when Tyler Perry, and like I said, I would give Tyler Perry credit for kind of like kicking the door open and showing Hollywood, hey guys, black people will
go see movies.
Black people will go see movies and support the shit. Now, like I said, you can speak to the volume, you can speak about Tyler Perry's quality, but he showed, hey, black people will watch the shit out of something if they like it.
Hey,
yeah,
I like Madea. Boo Halloween. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even.
Hey, look, man, look. Yo, when he showed it, yo, I was ridiculed on Twitter for this, and I was like, guys, understand. I knew this. We predicted this shit was gonna happen. Madea was gonna do a Halloween fucking movie because she's again Black Ernest. I knew it was happening, and as soon as it happened, I was like, I'm watching it. I have to. I feel obligated. I have to watch it. And I know we were at that point when Boo Halloween came out. We were already at that point where it's like, well, we're already getting good black movies. Tyler Perry don't have to do this, but he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put it out there. And guess
what? You need the balance because we don't look at. I don't like to categorize it as the white films, but we don't look at it in any other film by any other race that everything has to be excellent. No, some things can just
you need your wacky
be for entertainment. Yes, you need your Furious 8. You need something that I could cut my brain off for an hour and a half to 2 hours and really enjoy it. And that's what Boo Madea was.
All I'm
Get
saying
Out was something where you thought you could turn your brain off, but it turned into something deeper. And it was awesome that you could pick up on the messages that they were receiving, but it was still innocent enough where you was like, man, I really enjoyed this. That's what you want.
Well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. We're getting, like you said, like you both of you guys saying, we're getting a resurgence. I mean, hell, we're getting that Queen Latifah movie, which I like to call the women version of the fucking Hangover and shit, where they're just wilding out in New Orleans. I'm like, you know what? We need those kind of movies.
Oh yeah, the Hangover show that they're doing.
Yeah, I was like, we need those kind of movies. Those are movies that you just never seen. Because when's the last time we've seen 4 black women wilding out like dudes and shit like that? Never. We never seen that. That's even in the 90s.
We're trying to bring Will Packard back. That's why they're doing that, because
that's really
Will was slipping with the Black Thriller, which was dope because it was original when he first did it, and then when the bow breaks and The Perfect Guy, and
hey, look,
he basically makes Tyler Perry movies with a little bit of thrills. And
again, I said it before. We need movies like The Perfect Guy and When the Bow Breaks. I'm sorry if white people can do that shit.
Yes,
we can do that shit.
Why can't we? Why not?
Why can't we?
Yes,
and guess what? Both movies made money
because they bring in money and they prove that black people are willing to go see any product that they think is going to be good, and that's key.
Yeah,
we spend our money. We spend so much money on everything else. Why not support?
I mean, Get Out is going to probably
the arts in any way humanly possible.
Do y'all foresee Get Out maybe cracking 100 million? Because it's sitting at 48 right now.
It's at 48. This weekend is going to do 20, so it's going to be at 69 maybe by the end of this weekend. It's going to easily walk past 100 million. But you got to also keep in mind, like, I think Madea, Boo, Halloween is close to 100 million.
Jesus, I lost track of it. I was like, it probably I lost track after
or if it didn't hit 100 million, it's in the 80s. It's high enough where it's enough money for you to pay attention to it.
I just remember first week, and I was like, shit, that movie made money. I was like, all right, Tyler, you prove your point. You can do anything you want.
But that's what we need. Again, that's what we need. And Get Out is an excellent horror comedy that will draw more eyes to people on stuff that will happen afterwards. Because it's going to be copycats of this film. You can't make this film, and I think it's going to be a million other directors and studios who are going to try to duplicate this exact same experience for us. And that's what we need.
Yeah. So, but anyways, that is our discussion on Get Out. I want to thank Lucas and thank Sam for this. Appreciate it very much. And I will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Later, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, do you think you can send me the MP3 for this or MP4 or whatever?
Oh, yeah, I got you, man. And definitely you guys, part of JVS, go and check out 3BlackGeeks. I'll leave it in the description bar below. Y'all can definitely check out their podcast. They're freaking amazing. So, all right, everybody.
Peace out.
And then broadcast out.